guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would just come along today. I'm doing what for me is a really different type of journal. As you know, I kind of struggle with the whole matchy type thing normally. So what I have done is I've pulled in a lot of the things that I have been making during the lockdown, the things with the collage masterboard scrapbook, and it's just various pieces that I have made basically. And I have married up, or I have made up, perhaps I should say, a journal here with my Victorian Florals papers incorporated in it. And what I thought I would do, I have bound this with a fabric cover. I actually stitched this on the sewing machine, so I've only done that once or twice before. And then I bound it after I had covered it with fabric. So normally I would have bound it first, but I thought that I would give it a try doing it this way round. Now, obviously I am not a seamstress, and I know that I've said that so many times, but you can probably see here that I've got this kind of piece along the side. So obviously when I'm decorating the journal, I'm going to have to, well, I mean, I don't have to, but I will want to cover that up. So that's going to be, you know, something that I'm going to obviously need to do. And then I thought I'm going to use an eclectic mix of, you know, highly floraled, hopefully highly floraled pieces to decorate the journal. So I'm just going to pull in bits and pieces as I see them, and, or, you know, as I think that they might look nice, and pop them onto, you know, to pages. So this is obviously one of those pieces from my collage masterboard scrapbook, and I think I decorated this up with one of the Rachel style clusters, if I recall. So I'm thinking that looks quite nice on that page. And you know, this is where obviously normally I would try and have things perfectly matching and all the rest of it, but I really want to be a little bit more eclectic with this journal, and hopefully, you know, it's going to produce something really different. So I'm just going to make sure that that's the piece I want. I mean, actually, I quite like her as well. I think, obviously, these were made from the same page of that collage scrapbook. And actually, they both really look really, really nice on here. So I'm going to go for her, I think, actually. So I'm just going to glue her onto here, I think. Now, I haven't decided yet what to do on this side. Obviously, you know, I do want to cover this side. So before I glue her down, I think I'm going to play around and see what I'm going to do on that side, because obviously there's no point me putting her down if then it's going to clash or look horrible with what I put the other side. So I have also, sorry, I'm just grabbing things from down beside me, so that's why if my voice has gone a bit muffled, it's because I'm looking down to the side to grab. I've stitched a lot of ruffles during the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to pull in all of those things. I've got this here as well, which is just some sheet music that I've just made into a sort of, you know, pocket type piece, or a belly band, could be used for either. Let me just cut those threads off. Oops. Oh gosh, now it's just sticking all over me. Oh well. Oh, I know I've said before, but I am one of those people who really suffers with that static. You know, some people just seem to have more static than others, don't they? And I have a lot of static. So yeah, things are just sticking all over me. So I'm just wondering, oops, let me just move this out the way for a bit. I mean, I was thinking kind of maybe a fabric pocket here. Oh, that ruffle's really nice actually. So I've got that in different lengths. This was an old shirt of my son's. So I have different lengths according to obviously where I was cutting it round, you know, the pocket and the sleeves and all of those types of things. So I mean, that's really nice, isn't it? And then let's have a look. So if I were to have a pocket on that side, I mean, I could have a pocket from the those upholstery fabric swatches. Let me see what other ones I've got here beside me. Oh, well, I thought I had a whole bunch of them, but now, as usual, I've come to have a look and I can only see 2. Oh, here we go. Not really the right colours, are they? I mean, that's not too bad. That's very grey. Let's have a look. I have got this one, which, you know, I don't know whether I actually want, you know, a pocket this way round, because it feels like too many pockets that going that way round, unless I have her up there. I could have her in the middle, to be honest. More like a sort of belly band piece. She does look better at the bottom. Unless I have this plain, which I could do. I did really want to have a pocket there. Let me just see what fabric I have here in my little bag beside me. So I've just got some of this fabric, which Laura had gifted to me a while ago. A few people have said to me, who's Laura? So Laura is a lovely, generous, kind lady who I have met here on YouTube, and she's been with me since, you know, way back when, and she's just the most amazing kind of champion, you know, for, I know that I'm not the only person's channel who she sort of champions really, but she's just such a wonderful support, because not only is she incredibly generous and gifts the most awesome things, including she was the one who bought me my lovely craft mat, but also she's just such an incredible supporter, you know, vocally and what have you. She, you know, constantly comments on videos and, oh, it's just incredible. So to be honest, she's probably the most generous hearted person I've ever come across, really. And her amazing support is just so appreciated. So yeah, that's who Laura is, for those of you who wonder who I'm waffling about sometimes when I say Laura. She's, you know, my YouTube friend, you know, or one of my YouTube friends, and yeah, just the most incredible supportive person. And alongside that, she's also you know, incredibly talented. She doesn't have a social media presence. I don't think she has even Instagram or, you know, any of those kinds of things, but oh, she doesn't have YouTube either, sorry. But she's very big presence on here without having any of those things. She's, you know, very well, like I say, champions lots of different people. I know that she really loves Dee Dee Farago. She loves her work. Jessica Rapp at 2 Silver Oranges. She loves her. You know, so she really champions lots of people, and yeah, she's just incredible, to be honest. So that's who she is. And obviously the question originally came up, or most recently came up, when I was doing my giveaway, and obviously one of the journals was Laura's. So I might just leave this plain, to be honest, for the moment, I think. I'm struggling to decide otherwise what to actually put here, so unless I do have this, which I could ink up. Would it be better there? Just, sorry, I know, just really overthinking and gone into that silly mode of, you know, can't decide. Oops. I mean, obviously, because, I mean, this is a fabric cover, but it has got an envelope inside. So although it's floppy, as you can see, you know, it has got something inside, you know, i.e. an envelope, which is, I'm not saying stiffening it up, but it's a little bit stiffer than it would be if it were just the fabric. So yeah, I just need to decide really whether I want to have anything on there. So I might just hold fire for the moment, but I think I will have something up here in the corner. So whether that be a piece of lace or a flower, or I could have that smaller piece of the pinky colour ruffle. I mean, I could just have a tiny little piece like that going off to the side. I'm just imagining when you open the journal. I might just do that. So I'm just going to cut that. In fact, I'm going to glue it first, sorry. Still mucking about with my, you know, shall I, shan't I? So I'm just using my hot glue. I still haven't got any of the Fabri-Tac or the 3-in-1. So I'm still just using the hot glue. I mean, I don't have a problem with the hot glue because, you know, initially that was what I used all the time. And I stopped using it really because I started buying alternative brands of glue, I think, really. You know, glue sticks, because the Bosch ones were quite expensive. So I thought, oh, I'll try out some others. And actually they weren't then very effective. So it sort of stopped me using it. But actually, if I stick with the, you know, the Bosch, then, you know, I'm back to sort of thinking it's just great because it's so quick and easy. Right, so that's that page. I know, it took a long time to get there considering the pieces were actually made, but right, so we're going to move on. So I have a whole bunch of different things. So, and I've done the, you know, my usual method where I kind of have like stiffer pages and, you know, thinner pages so that I can have more heavy embellishments on the thicker pages. Again, I mean, I don't normally work sort of, what's the word? You know, I don't work my way through the journal necessarily in order of the pages. I like to just flit around and see what goes best where. Quite like that on that page actually. So this is the centre page. So what I might do is just put a thumb hole. Sorry, excuse my arm reaching across. So I'm just going to put a thumb hole in the top of there. Hopefully that's roughly central. So I'm just going to have that like that. Now, do I want any doily coming out behind it? It's always nice to have something else, isn't it? I could just have a little bit of sheet music. Just sort of poking out behind there. Just ink that up a bit. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're all getting some crafting done. It just always improves any day, doesn't it, to do a bit of crafting. I was just looking because I thought, oh, I wonder what way up that's supposed to go, that sheet music. Might have it that side. Now I'm still hunting around for some doily. Here we go. I knew I had some somewhere, but it's just a case of where was it? Right, I'm just sort of weighing that down so as it stops moving around. So just going to glue that doily on. Okie dokie. Just pop that down here, I think. You just weigh it down a bit more, otherwise it's still, you know, moving up. That's that one. Then let's just tear that across there a bit. Didn't like the shape of that. I'm going to have this here, like that. Okay. Did anybody else happen to see that awesome video from Barbara from 49 Dragonflies? She did a brilliant video of how she does her videos. I mean, her videos, I'm sure that you all have, you know, have watched Barbara at 49 Dragonflies before, but if you haven't, then, you know, check her out. She's just amazing. But her videos, I mean, she does absolutely lovely work, but also alongside that, her videos are so slick and so professionally done. Yeah, they just kind of leave you really in awe. She's just so talented. And yeah, she must have had, you know, lots of requests asking how she does her videos. So she did a video of how she does her videos, how she edits. Well, how she does them and edit, I guess. Oh my gosh, I mean, she's so clever. She, I think she said it takes about 3 hours to edit her videos, you know, to a point where she's obviously happy enough to put them on. So, I mean, a lot of dedication goes into that. And, yeah, absolutely amazing. You know, don't get me wrong, her videos look so slick and professional that, you know, her efforts definitely pay off and it definitely shows. I mean, I have to say, you know, I wouldn't know where to start to make my videos lovely and professional like hers anyway. But also, I mean, obviously, I tend to upload every day, or certainly most days. So there's no way I could spend 3 hours editing. And I think she said that was for a half-an-hour video, which obviously a lot of my videos are an hour. So presumably that would be about 5 or 6 hours. So there would just be no way that I would be able to edit my videos, you know, to those... Well, I mean, I'm not saying to those standards because I wouldn't have the first idea how to start anyway. But anyway, just rambling. I was just in awe of, you know, how clever she was to be able to do such awesome editing. I mean, honestly, her videos just look so slick and so wonderful. And I've said that to her before on, you know, on comments and said how professional and amazing her videos are. Yeah, they really are incredible. But yes, I mean, she really does put the work in. So, you know, no wonder they turn out quite, you know, as lovely as they do. Right, I want to decide what to put on the facing page, I think. So let's have a look and see what else we've got. I mean, this looks quite nice there, but I don't really want two tallish pockets because I find that a bit strange. I have got this one which I haven't inked up yet. Again, that's another tall piece, so probably not that. Oh, this is where straight away I'm going to fall at the first hurdle. Let's see what else I've got here. Well, I have got that piece that we nearly used on the front cover. That's quite nice there, isn't it? Perhaps I will do that. And perhaps we'll add a little flap to that. What do you think? Let's do that. So just get some coffee dyed paper. Oops, she says, and now all my coffee dyed paper, would you believe, seems to have stuff on it. You know, is decorated. I mean, I could have that because it's that, but this is that one that I said turned a bit turmeric. I think that's all that I have in this pile here that's now on my desk is the turmeric type colour, which, you know, was not really what I was wanting. Let me see whether I have any behind me in my big pile of stuff. Oh, I just seem to have piles everywhere I go. There's just piles of things. I'm sure that I can't be the only person, but I do seem to be very bad for that. Okay, right. Here we go. So now I've got to re-fidget around to get comfy again on my chair. Okay. I might just have it fold over just once, you know, actually. So if I just fold it like that, I'm just going to cut it down here. Doesn't need to sort of be endlessly folding, does it? So once is good enough, I feel. Like that. Could have it folding in from the side, or we could have it folding in from the bottom. Or I'm just playing around here, just wondering whether I could have it up the page and folding into there. Is that a bit strange? What do you guys think? And it would just tuck in like that. So then, just if I were to have a ruffle like on this side, and then would I be able to have something down here? Maybe either another lacy piece, or I'm just looking again to see what stuff I've got laying about. Could have it like that. I just feel like mixing it up really and doing something a bit different, I think. So yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down over. Okay, sorry about that. I was literally about to glue that down and then the foam went. Just threw me off completely. So right, okay. Glue this one down. So I want it, you know, roughly in the middle, like that. Okie dokie. Okay, then I'm going to have this one here like this. Now I was wondering whether to have it as a bottom tuck, but I don't think that's going to work because then it's going to bump into this piece that's tucked in. So I'm just going to have it as a top. Yeah, top tucking. So I don't want this tucked in too much because then it's going to be, you know, having to bend quite a lot to get it in and out. So just about sort of roughly where I've put it here, I think. Okay. Oops. Okie dokie. I'll just place that down about there. Okay, just mop up any excess glue that's just seeping out at all. Okay. Okay, press that in. And then I was wondering about having this here, but actually I think I might prefer one of my dictionary pieces. So let me just grab one of those. Let's have that one, Inspire. Right, just going to move that out the way. Might even have that tucked in there, I'm not sure. So if we have this down here, I'm thinking just hanging off to the side a bit, and we'll just have Inspire down there. Okay, I mean, this has been printed on ivory, so to be honest, it doesn't really need an awful lot of inking because it's not white. But I'll just go round the edges a little bit, just for a little bit of extra help. Okay, let me just pop that there, I think. Okay, yeah. So I'll just glue this with the wet glue. We've been watching this thing, it's called The Good Place. It's rubbish, I have to say. It is rubbish, but it's one of those rubbish things that's kind of quite funny at times. And at the heart of it, it's another one of those quite, you know, light-hearted, kind of nice family type things. You know, there's like no swearing in it and things because they're in the good place. They're not allowed to swear. So every time they go to swear, it replaces it. You know, the place that they're in replaces what they were going to say. So if they were going to say a rude word, you know, it might say something like, you know, holy shirt or something like that. So you know what they would have been saying. Obviously children wouldn't know. I'm trying to think really whether there's anything that's really not child friendly. I mean, I haven't really noticed anything so far particularly, but yeah, so it's kind of good clean family viewing. It's with Ted Danson, you know, from Cheers, from all those years ago. What was his name? Sam from Cheers. He's in it. And obviously he's, you know, much older now. But, yeah, he's in it. And this, yeah, I mean, it is rubbish, I have to say. There's no getting away from it. But kind of rubbish, but in that, you know, harmless way. So, yeah, it's just sort of nice viewing, I suppose. So if you're looking for something that's just good, clean fun, you know, for all the family, it's one of those. So yeah, I don't know how many there are. I think we've watched quite a few of them because they're quite quick, they're quite short. You know, they're like Friends lengths, so like half an hour, but probably less, like more like, you know, 24 minutes or something. I think it's on Netflix because obviously we've still got our subscription, you know, from the lockdown thing. We've still got that. So yeah, I just think it probably is a Netflix series. And then it's got this woman in it who she's been in quite a lot of films, but I don't know what her name is, but a pretty lady with blonde hair she's got. She's in it anyway. But yeah, it's just good, clean, harmless fun in this really rubbish kind of way. So if you're looking for anything to just while away some hours, it's, you know, but you don't have to think at all to watch it. It's one of them. Right, I'm going to hold fire on the ruffles for the moment because I want to see how it evolves and then decide, you know, what ruffles that I would want where. So that's that page. Now, obviously over here, I have got the top where I've obviously popped that flap. Now, personally, you know, I'm not that keen on seeing that there. So I will try now to cover that up. Who knows with what, but I mean, that's probably a bit strange to have that there, but you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. Or if we have like a belly band going right down the page, then obviously that overcomes that completely, doesn't it? And I think I've still got a cluster from those that we made. So I could just decorate it up with something like that, which obviously keeps in the very florally theme that we're going for. Actually, I've got some other clusters, which maybe I might prefer that one. Hold on, I have more here. More that I've created at another time. I mean, to be honest, they're all quite nice, aren't they? So probably really doesn't require that much thought, you know, they're probably all absolutely fine to use. But perhaps I will go for this one because obviously that's the one that we made previously. So what I'm going to do is I will just ink this up a little bit. Oops. And I mean, obviously this is just sheet music that I have, you know, folded, glued and stitched around it. So that's all that that is. So just want to obviously pop some other things on there so it's not completely plain. Oops. Always good if I can just use things that are here on my desk anyway. So I'll just have a look and see if I can. I was trying really to keep that title showing because I thought that was quite nice, you know, getting to know you, the title of the song there. But, you know, if I cover it up, it's not the end of the world, so that's fine. Let me just see, because again, it would be quite good to use any scraps that are laying around. You know, rather than dragging in more stuff, if I can possibly use things, that's probably better. And perhaps I'll just have it like that, actually. Let's just glue that on there. In fact, I'm just going to ink that up first, only because I've obviously inked up the rest already, so I don't want to be then inking again, because it'll be really inky by then. Just see what happens if I turn it round. Right, so I might have it that way round, I think. I like all this where it's got like the, you know, words by, you know, the, oh, what do you call it? Oh, you know, like the composer and the information and things. I quite like the look of all that. So it's quite nice to be able to have that showing a bit. Okay. I'll have that there. And then again, I'm just trying to use up some scraps really that are laying about. Perhaps we'll have it like that. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, so let's just glue these flowers down. Oh, it's really warm today. I haven't even got the, you know, the big light on today, but already it's very warm up here, so yes, I might have to take my cardigan off in a minute because I'm just wearing a summer dress, but got my cardigan on because it wasn't so warm downstairs. But obviously now I've come up, it's pretty hot. Pretty hot. Okay, so I'm going to have it like that. So I'm just going to glue this piece down. And I'll just go round anywhere where it needs a little bit of help, you know, a bit of extra gluing. So hopefully the whole thing will be stuck down. Oh my gosh, just dropping the lid of the glue there. Okay. Right, so let me just pick up my glue lid before my glue. Where is it now? Oh, I bet it's gone under my desk now. Oh, and if that's happened, it will obviously never ever be found again. behind me. Just behind me, that's fine. Right, okay. So we're going to have that there and that there. I would quite like something poking out behind it, because when I put that flower there just now, I thought it just looked really pretty having something coming out. So maybe we'll have something like that. Not saying that's the right piece, but let me just pull in my Scrap Florals Curators collections. Hold on. Ah, right, these have been printed on that glossy photo paper, you know, that I bought in error. Yeah. At first I thought, oh, actually, you know, I quite like it. And I thought perhaps I would, you know, even go as far as to actually buy the glossy paper in future. But yeah, I don't think I will. It doesn't ink up properly. I can't really describe it, but it obviously, you know, because it's not a porous paper, the ink sort of sticks in strange ways. I mean, it looks fine, but yeah, I wouldn't actually buy it deliberately. It's quite nice quality paper, or it is nice quality paper, but not necessarily for what we're using it for. Yeah. Just like this. Let me just see. Oh, that's better, isn't it? It needed a sort of longer piece, I think. So, yeah, going to have that there. Okie dokie. So we just pop that down like that. Don't want it too lopsided, but I don't want it running in a straight line either. So just a little bit wonky, I think is quite nice. Okay, so we'll just glue our belly band piece down. Like that. Okay. And then this lace was just literally, you know, floating about on my desk. So, you know, I might as well use that, to be honest, because then that gets it off of my desk, which is always a good thing, isn't it? To get things, get things off of the desk. So just literally every time I touch anything, it's falling on the floor. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's that piece. Oh, it looks really pretty, doesn't it? Yup. Okay, so I like how that looks. Right, I'm just going to take my cardigan off because I am pretty hot. Oh, okay. Okay. So again, I will add some other things to this page, but you know, I generally like to kind of flit around a little bit. So I'm going to come back and add some other things. Right, let's go to this page and see what might look good on here. Again, let me just weigh it down a bit because it's, you know, it's quite heavy. I've got this lovely envelope which we'd done in the mass making, and then I decorated it up. I don't know whether I decorated it up in a video actually, or whether I just decorated it up at another time. I really can't remember. I mean, that's quite nice there. So what would we then cover the flap with? Let's have a look. Got that piece. is this folding? I felt like that. Obviously this piece hasn't been inked up at all. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of inking to do on there. And I have got this large pocket, which that's really quite nice on that flowery paper, isn't it? I mean, so odd because, you know, it really doesn't go at all, but for some reason it almost does. You know, sort of sometimes when things don't go at all, that they almost really go incredibly well. It's a bit like that, I think. And I've also got that double tag piece, you know, booklet, which that's quite pretty there. Oh, that tag there. Oh, decisions. Let me just have a flick through a bit more because, you know, that might be more helpful when I decide. Because I don't want to stick something down and then think, oh no, that would have gone miles better on, you know, on this page or that page. Right, I don't like it on there, so that's knocked that one out. I quite like it on there. Let me look down. Right, that's it on plain. That's it on the floral. I mean, there's people probably watching, shouting at the screen saying, oh no, put it on the plain. For some reason, I'm just wanting to put it on the floral. I have no idea what that's about, because it kind of just doesn't really go there at all, but just something about it sort of does. Do you know, I mean, I really wanted to make this a bit of a different journal, and perhaps I should just go for it. What do you guys think? Do you know what? Let's go for it. So I'm going to pop this envelope down. I'm trying to push myself a little bit out of my comfort zone because, you know, I think it's easy to just always do the safe thing, isn't it? And, yeah, I'm trying to do things a little bit differently. So, yeah, although I don't think it goes per se, you know, I would never obviously, you know, match up an outfit like that. I kind of felt like it did go. You know, there was something quite nice to the eye about it. So yeah, let's just go for it. So again, just glue my envelope down like that. And I really do want this to be like a really eclectic, floral, Victorian-y type inspired journal. So you know, I don't want to get too hung up on, you know, would I have put that there ordinarily, or does it go, you know, I just want to go with the flow a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to just do that, I think. So I'm going to glue it down there as a side tuck pocket. So I'm just glue it down. Just glue it down along those 3 sides. And I'm going to try and get it quite close to the edge, so as it really is covering up, you know, the majority of that envelope flap. Like that. Okay, where's my wipe gone? Okay, press that down. Okie dokie. Yeah, normally, you know, I just like everything very matchy-matchy, or at least some sort of continuity. I mean, I guess this has got the continuity because it's got the florals. But I wanted to do something a little bit more of a mix-up. So, because I see so many journals that are so eclectically put together, and I just love them, you know, really, really love how they look. So I just wanted to do something a bit more eclectic, I guess. So, right, that's that. Okay, let's see where else we might have some of these things. Don't necessarily want that on there. Okay, work our way back through. Now, isn't it weird? Because on the other page, I didn't necessarily think it went that well there. But bizarrely, I do quite like it on that one. Which is just so odd, because that's the same paper. Well, not technically, that is the same paper. Just so very strange. Quite like that on there, I think. Just suddenly I was like, oh, I'm liking that. So that's what I mean. Sometimes I find it helpful to just flick around or flit around. You know, because what I quite like one time, you know, I might not like the next time. So it's quite helpful to actually just move around and put things in, you know, as and where you sort of fancy. Right, let's have a look. See what else we might like to put on here. Do we want anything poking out behind there? Again, I've got those portraits. Could have one of those ladies. Again, this is on that, you know, high glossy photo paper. Let's just try that. You know, it might look nice, it might look rubbish, but there's no harm in trying, is there? So again, we'll just ink that up. Out the way. Okey-dokey. Yep, I quite like her on there, to be honest. I mean, I don't have to have her on there. She's, you know, it's perfectly nice without, but why wouldn't you? You know, kind of, why wouldn't you have a bit more interest to look at? Is what I always think. It's nice to have other bits and pieces to look at, isn't it? I'll just pop that there. Just so as I know roughly where I wanted to stick her down. So again, let me just dab up the excess glue there. Okay. Okie dokie. Hopefully she's stuck down nicely now. And then we're just going to pop this down here. And this one, I might just leave it as a tuck. So I might just glue it on just two sides. Just like that. Like that. Okay, and again, just dab out any excess. Okay, just press that down, hopefully wait for it to dry for a couple of moments. Right, so this one's also a thicker page that I can stick something on. I might have to see what else I've got. Maybe have to make up something to go there, because I'm not sure I've got anything that I think would go quite nicely. Let's have a look. Right, I have some bits that are sort of semi-made, you know, where I've sort of partially done things and haven't obviously finished them. So I'll just see whether I've got these, which I had made from my collage scrap paper, but from the actual original masterboard piece. So we could have that. Could have that on there. Or actually, this one might be better. I mean, they're practically the same, I know, but this one, just colour wise, might be slightly better because the other one had the black on it. Right, okay. So I think we'll go for that one. And yeah, let me just move this out the way a little bit. Oh, I forgot about that piece. Look, it was just hiding under there. So I'm just going to rough the edges up a little bit on here. So yeah, this is from my collage scrap paper, but it's actually from the original, you know, the original masterboard, not the digi images. So, oh gosh, now I've put that on the ink pad and hidden that, buried it under there. Let me just ink around there. Okay. And then I'm wondering if I take some of my coffee dyed paper, and this time I'm going to bring in and I wondered if we could almost wrap it like a parcel so as we have like a flip up and down, if that makes sense. So let me just see which way round I need the paper. Right, we don't want it that way round, so we'd want it this way round, and what I'm thinking, we could have it like this, so down to there, up to there. So let me just cut it for a moment so it's not so big. So what I'm thinking, if that were glued on at the back of that, and this were then folded down, so I'd want it folded down more or less the full height of that piece, like that. And then this one up the other way, like that. And then, so I'm just going to trim this one down slightly, otherwise it's just overhanging. Oh my gosh, what is going on with my clumsy ways today? Okay, so like that. And then I'm thinking, wrap this around like that. It doesn't really matter which one goes, you know, on top and which one doesn't, you know, neither here nor there. And then, I mean, I was going to have string because of course I love the use of string, but now I'm thinking, and I'm sure I did this in another video recently, but it may be that I, you know, depending on my order of upload, it may be that that one's not gone up yet. I'm thinking make one of those little ujimis that Eva from Bohemian Crafting makes a lot. So again, I'm just looking for a suitable piece, and that's where I made it last time. So I'm just going to do, again, one of those similar weird body, you know, head and body shape things. Like that. So this is quite thick, this card. And actually I'm going to make it a lot smaller, I think. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh my gosh, I mean, this just looks so weirdly shaped. Let's try and just cut it around a little bit more. I mean, I'm calling this like a body shape, and I know I said this in the last video, but my gosh, you're in trouble if your body looks like that, aren't you? Really not a great look there for a body, but there we go. Right, so I will probably have to slim this down a little bit. So I'm just going to cut that down just a bit along there. I mean, actually, you could even have this where it slid right out, you know, not even glued, but I mean, I'm thinking glue it onto that back piece, but you could have it just, you know, sort of tucked in there. Yeah, I'm thinking like this. So I'm just going to ink this up like that. Now, of course, I have now covered up all what's under there. So I might just want to put something on here so it looks a little bit more interesting, because otherwise it just looks really rubbish, doesn't it? So again, let me just see what I've got laying around in my little piles here to the side. Preferably on sort of copy paper, really, because that's on copy paper, but actually even better, I have these, which are my stickers on the clear labels. So, right, let me pull my piece back in so as I see which label would go. It's going to go on there, wasn't it? So it's going to have that little person there as my tab. I mean, actually, that could go there. I was kind of thinking to the side, but I guess it could go there. Well, we'll have a play in a moment, but yeah, I just bought this in to see which piece I would like. I think a typewriter. Like that. Okay, so let me just... And I'll move the journal back out the way while we fiddle around with this piece. Otherwise, I'm again not going to have enough room. So pop that there. Right, let's ink this up. Like that. Let's glue this down. Now, I just need to make sure I've got enough room there for my little person. My little person, honestly. Ugh, what a scary thought. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this here. So yeah, although this is regular copy paper, it is not regular actually. I think it's 100 GSM, where I think regular copy paper is 80. So although it is only copy paper, it's slightly thicker than, you know, the cheapest copy paper that you can get, I think. So it's just a little bit more robust then for having as a like folded piece. So there we go. Did I ink that piece up? It doesn't look all that inked, does it? I think I did, because I can remember inking that bird, but anyway. So then we're going to have that folded like that and like that. And then we're going to have our little piece there, just holding it closed. Okay, so let's just cut out the typewriter. Okay. So yeah, this is, again, I know that I'm always repeating myself, but it's because obviously sometimes there's people watching who haven't seen a previous video. And so last time I used this, I then had people, or I had a person anyway, asking what label it was. So this is Avery full size clear. It's not, I think they called it clear matte finish label paper. So it's effectively now a sticker. And I just obviously printed out onto it, but it's a full size label. It's not lots of them. It's just one full size label. And the other thing that I thought was I'm just going to have a little piece of doily on there. Just coming out. Oh, did you see what I nearly did? I nearly glued the typewriter down completely, like upside down. Wouldn't that have been just a disaster? So let's just... I mean, stranger things have happened. It really wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility for me to do that, of course. In fact, it's highly probable that I would do stuff like that. But okay, so we're going to have the doily here, and then the typewriter. Obviously, we can just stick down. Oh, come on. There we go. So we just stick that there. Oh no, I've stuck hot glue threads under there as well. Oh well, never mind. The more the merrier. Let's just say the more the merrier. Okay, so I'm thinking then we'll pop that on with a brad. Now, where we want that is the next question. Probably this side would be better, because just in case we have a ruffle or anything going down that side. So again, let me just grab a brad. Grab my pokey tool. I'm going to have it here. Like that. Okay. Let me just press that in. And that's it. And that's your little closure. I love how that looks. It's super cute. Okay, so now let me move these bits out the way. Put the lid on my ink before I put my fabric cover in the ink. Oh, because again, things like that do tend to happen, don't they? Okay, so then we can have that there. There or there. And maybe like here. Maybe just, yeah, about halfway up. So like that, and we will just glue that down. Okie dokie. Oops, come on. Oh, come on, lid, go back on. Right. Okay. So we just pop that down there. Again, just grab my wipe. Just now got a flower stuck on it. And we just press that down like that. Okay. Okay, so that's really nice, isn't it? And then the only thing that we haven't got anywhere on this page at all, which, oh my gosh, like, how could I have missed that? I haven't got a single bit of lace on that whole page, would you believe? So let's quickly sort that out. My gosh, don't want to have a laceless page. It's completely laceless. Right, so I was thinking, shall we do that? But I would really like to have a little bit of lace here, really. So just having a look in my little bag, because I'm sure that I've got some skinny lace that would just be the perfect size to pop in there. Hold on. No, I can't find any. Oh, it's so annoying. No, I can't see it. I'm sure I did have some that was very thin, but what we'll do then is we will just trim this one down, I think. So just trim that there. Okay. I'm just going to glue that on there. Just before I do that, I just want to make sure that I'm not likely to have a ruffle running down the edge. I think I'd prefer something at the bottom here. Maybe at the top. Maybe at the top. Doesn't that look nice? Yeah, that looked really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this lace, which now, should I glue that right the way down? Is that weird? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Right, let's just glue it on here before we just get waylaid again with overthinking. Okay, there we go, and we just snip that off. Okay, and then of course let's have a bit of bling, because my gosh, otherwise it's just boring, completely boring. So I've just got, oops, a little 3. Oh no, a little 4 even. Let's just have that there. Just finishes that off really nicely, doesn't it? So, right, let me just hold that out the way. Come on. Okay. Oh, how pretty is that? Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's beginning to come together now. Oops, now I've got my glue threads again. So I probably will put something up here, but I mean, if I don't, you know, I don't really have to, because to be honest, you know, it looks really pretty as it is. And just to show you then how this piece operates, obviously you just slide this piece out the way, and then you've got, your little bit in there. You've got obviously journaling space either way or either side. And then you just slide your closure back to keep it closed. So yeah, really pleased that we did that, because it's just something a little bit different to add on there, isn't it? Okay, well that's probably enough for today, because unfortunately where I stopped the video earlier, I haven't got the foggiest idea what time we're actually up to. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you like my more eclectic floral journal. And yeah, hope you will join me next time. Hope everyone has a great day. See you guys soon. Thanks then.